We're going to take a look at two quick review problems from algebra. We are going to find the slope of a line that goes through this point, and then we are going to solve this expression. All right. So we know that the slope of the line, represented with an m, is rise over run. And the rise is describing the change in the y values, where the run is described by the change in the x values. So the equation for finding slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's identify the points. Let's call this one point 1. We'll call this one point 2. And clearly I am leaving some room here to identify this -6 as my x1 value, whereas the 4 is my y1 value. 6 is my x2. -2 will be my y2. So let's plug this into the equation. My y2 value is -2 minus my y1 value is 4 over my x2 value is 6 minus my x1 value, which is -6. So -2 minus 4 is -6 over, well, 6 minus -6 is 12, which gives me a grand total of -1/2. Now for the second problem, it's a slightly trickier than the first. So we have the quantity x minus 5 squared is equal to 81. So what's the opposite of squaring? Square rooting. So the square root of x minus 5 squared is simply x minus 5. Square root of 81, now here's the trick. Square root of 81 could either be positive or -9. So that's plus or minus 9. So at this point, we're going to split this into two different worlds. We could have x minus 5 is equal to 9, or we could have x minus 5 is equal to -9. And this makes sense because this is a quadratic relationship because we have a squared, and quadratic relationships can have up to two solutions. So the next thing we'll do is let's just solve each linear equation. Add 5, and so we get x is equal to 14, or add 5, and we get x is equal to -4. Now let's just double check, because this may not be the most intuitive thing in the world. Let's plug in -4 for x. So we have -4 minus 5 squared. Well, that's -9 squared. Well, -9 squared is in fact 81. So if what's in the parentheses is negative, the squared will turn it positive. Obviously 14 minus 5 is 9, squared is 81 as well. So we have our answer.